All right, we're here at the Banff Mountain Festival with Jim Davidson. Jim wrote a book, The Ledge, which came out earlier this year, about Jim's adventure and very inspiring story about life and death in the mountains. Jim, maybe you could just give us a little bit of background on the story itself, and and what it meant for you and what it taught you coming out of it.
Sure. My partner Mike Price and I climbed the Liberty Ridge on Mount Rainier in 1992. Summited successfully, and on the way down on a relatively easy stretch of glacier, a snow bridge that was hidden collapsed beneath us. It dropped us both 25 meters inside a crevasse, and then the snow bridge caved in, and very sadly my partner Mike was critically injured and passed away in the crevasse. I was by myself, devastated, lost my friend, and looked up at these overhanging ice walls above me that I had to climb out. So it was a huge physical and emotional challenge right there in the moment, and then even after I managed to escape the crevasse, then I had to try and find my way in life again after that.
So what was it, I mean, obviously being down there in the crevasse by yourself, having just fallen, having just, spent a couple days or 3 days on the mountain, climbing it, being exhausted, fatigued, your friends there, what was it that sort of, that where were you able to dig deep in terms of trying to come out, gaining that motivation, gaining that confidence, and just sort of, getting yourself out of that crevasse? What would you say sort of, inspired you or motivated you to do that, and to get that energy and strength back?
It's a good question, because when I looked up at those overhanging ice walls, I thought, I'm a decent ice climber, but I can't climb that. There's no way. And it really came down to two things. Number one was that I owed my partner Mike everything, because he slowed me down, allowed me to survive that big fall. So he had done his job for the team, and now it was my job to do the best I could for the team. And so I realized that I couldn't bring him back, but I could try and get us both out of the crevasse. So thinking about how much he put into the team enabled me to push a little beyond my limits, and also it really came down to resilience. And for me, resilience came from things I'd learned from my partner Mike and from my dad through doing construction. Like, you don't give up just because it's hard. You keep pushing, and you think about the people that are counting on you. And even when I was hanging off those ice screws 5 hours later, I didn't think I could go any further, spitting up blood, I said, you know what, this isn't just about me. I have to do this because other people are counting on me to get out of here and let them know what happened to Mike.
Was it difficult, like, sharing that story? I mean, afterwards, after the fact, I mean, going back, and then, you wrote the book now, you're out, I think, speaking about it, actively speaking about it. Is it, how does it feel about sharing the story now, like just getting the message out there and getting the story out there?
Well, at first, I couldn't share. I mean, I was just devastated emotionally, and I kind of had to figure out where I was in life, where I was with the mountains, and eventually I started teaching other people how to climb, and I realized, well, maybe that's part of why I'm here, is to share this story, and the good things and the bad things that happen as a result, and help other people climb safely, and more importantly, learn those resilient lessons for their life. So that all took many, many years, 15, 16 years. I started speaking publicly and got a positive response, and that's what led to writing the book, was to put the lessons out there. Because, we climbers and people that love the wilderness get the mountain metaphor. Other people don't climb, but they can still learn lessons from it and say, when I hit those snags, I got to remember this and try and get through my difficult times and climb out of those crevasses in life that everybody falls into every once in a while.
That's awesome. So any sort of, anybody who's dealing with some sort of a tragic loss or some sort of a very challenging life situation, if they're climbing their own mountain, what's sort of one piece of advice that you'd give them right now in terms of, just pushing on, just keep going?
Yeah, when you get in those tough situations and you think, I'm not strong enough or brave enough or have the strength to push through this, think about the other people that are counting on you, your loved ones, your partners, your friends, and when you look to that, you'll get a little bit more strength to say, this is tough on me right now, but I'm going to make it through this because they're counting on me. And I think there's an infinite amount of strength there.
That is awesome, Jim. I appreciate that. If people want to buy your book or find out more, is there a website they can go to?
Yep, you can go to www.speakingofadventure.com. There's a link there to go look at the book and the other things we're talking about. So
awesome. Appreciate that, Jim.
My pleasure.
Again, Jim Davidson, and thanks again. Best of luck.
Thanks, Mike.
Cheers.